Piratewizarddragon here. I know it's been as they used to say a few years ago, a hot minute. I moved. I got out of that desolate. Oh, come here, kitty. I got out of that. I got a cat here. I got out of that uh, desolate cultural wasteland void of a state called Kansas. Actually, Lawrence, Kansas is pretty cool, but I was in Hays, Kansas for the last 7 years, and it was honestly one of the worst places I've ever lived. The longest that I've ever, it was one of the worst places I've ever lived and the longest I've ever lived in a place. But I got out of it. I'm in Illinois now. Uh, I am not going to tell you exactly where because I don't want people to know exactly where I live. But let's just say it's beautiful here. And I'm very, very blessed to have escaped without too many problems. I came here. I worked at a tattoo shop for 2 weeks when I got here. They wanted me to reapprentice. It was a bunch of bologna and cheese. I won't. I'll go into it in another video. But I'm pretty happy to be out of Kansas, and I am. I'm just. It's taken me a while to get settled, and I'm not completely settled. I bought a 95-year-old house. Got it for a really good deal. Um, Come on, dude, you're blocking my videos. Come on. I I ended up having carpal tunnel surgery 2 weeks ago today. I tore up the third floors, all the flooring on the third floor of this 95-year-old house, and there were 7 layers of crap underneath the carpet. And then I bought a double. It's on a double lot, so I've got kind of a 3-story house. I've got a main floor, which is where I'm sitting at, my living room, and one of my paintings. This is Tonks. She is our female tabby cat, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Uh, so things are good. Things are good. I have a lot to share. A lot has happened since I sold my house. Believe it or not, on April 1st. Come on, Tonks. April 1st, last year, and I moved out here in May, I believe, is when I got out here. It took us a couple of months to get everything situated. Uh, my wife wasn't able to find a job out here until December, so I was out here for 6 months by myself. She came she came out here and a couple different times for like a week, and then when we moved, she helped do the whole. And moving is no fun. I cannot tell you how I am not wanting to move ever again. I moved to a much larger city than where I was in Hays, Kansas. Um, sure, tell me a joke, Mason Day Brown. um, so I'm just feeling really grateful to be out of that town that I lived. It's gonna take me a little time to get back to I don't know, whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I'm about a semester, maybe a semester and a half away from a uh, a bachelor's degree in clinical psychology, which I think I'm going to finish up in the fall here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with it, but I would like to. I've gotten so far with my college vocation that I want to finish. But what I'm really going to try to do is start a interior painting and faux finish business and do murals. I want to do kids' rooms. I want to do like gaming businesses, and actually, where I got my nails done last week, the owner of the shop wants me to do a mural in his business. So I'm taking a break from tattooing. I still will tattoo down the road, friends and family only, and maybe somebody if I get to know them well enough. But the hustle. There's over 40 plus. I'm not. This cat she's relentless. She wants the pets. She wants the pets. She wants the pets. I'm I'm just wanted to give a quick update. I will do more of an update later. It was a little bit of a trip. We had to rent the biggest U-Haul that they sold. Not that they sold, that they rented, and um, Oh, you eat cats in your country. Okay. Well, somebody's watching me and saying they eat cats in their country. Well, you're not gonna eat my cat. Say no, my cat's too. She actually used to be really skinny, so you wouldn't get much of a meal out of her a year ago. But she used to be an outside cat, and it's cold, and we moved to a much bigger city and a busier street, so I don't let her outside as much. But yeah, no, things are going good. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. There was a lot of weird coincidences that made it happen. A lot of very mystical situations had to arise to free me from that. Um, and boy, these comments are like, you know what, Tommy? I don't find you funny anymore, Tommy. Let's do this. Let's put user in a timeout for 24 hours. There you go. How's that, Tommy? Now you can, I don't want to see the views. Let's see. Top chat. I haven't done too many live videos, so hide all chat messages. There we go. Now I don't have to see it. I can look at it later. You know, I'm not doing this for anything but fun. So, um, yeah, it was the hardest thing about leaving was towards the end. I knew I was going to leave Kansas. I just didn't know how and when, and a lot of things had to manifest in a certain way to get out of Kansas. There we go. Now she's content. She's on my belly. She's happy. Got her. Look how cute her paws are. She folds her paws down. See? um, but I made one of my best friends about a year before I left. He's a professor there at Fort Hays. He used to be. He no longer lives in Hays. Also, too. He moved to Galveston, Texas. Him and his wife became some of my two of my best friends. I helped him teach one of his history classes there, and that was one of the things about Kansas that I will miss, and it's not anything other than the few people I made friends with there. The few misfits. I made friends with a history professor, and I made friends with one of the director of the honors college, and I miss him. He's still a really good friend of mine and my wife's. He actually helped us drive a. He drove the largest U-Haul truck. He helped us pack it. He drove it here. He's been such a good friend to me and my wife. He's helped me work on my vans, and so yeah, no, things are really good. I just wanted to touch base and say I'm grateful for the opportunity to try once again and make dreams come true for myself and my family and my life. Um, I started going to a Unitarian church here in this town, and I'm making a few new friends. I love the Unitarians because they're kind of, as one person told me, they're kind of goofy religious people, but they're not really goofy. They're just fun. They have big hearts. They're social activists for sure. They have a concentration on social justice, and that makes me happy. And it's almost like a spiritual refugee camp. They have a pagan get together there. They accept all creeds, religions, genders, sexual identities, and I really like that about the Unitarians. I visited a Unitarian church for a few weeks when I was in Colorado, and I'm now an officially last weekend I joined the Unitarian Church officially, so I'm a member of the Unitarian Church, which is cool because it's just nice to have a community of people that are interested in having discussions about uh, topics that I'm into. And there's a lot of pagans at this church too, so that's pretty fun. I went to a solstice ceremony at the church that was really neat. So I'm slowly getting my life back. I've been being taught patience. That's been the lesson the last year because it's taken forever to get to move. I basically took. I still am not completely unpacked. I have my books I need to unpack, and this house needs a lot of work. I'm gonna repaint the whole house inside and out. We did a whole bunch of plumbing work to it, and so I've got a lot of projects that I'm working on too. I still collect junk and I still sculpt, but because of the carpal tunnel surgery, I'd have about another. I'm a lot better today. I was able to get a lot more done, but having having my hands become where I couldn't use them. I needed carpal tunnel surgery years ago, but I basically held off just because I could live with the pain, but it got to where the numbness was waking me up almost every night. After only about 3 or 4 hours of sleep, my hands would wake me up. So I had to get the surgery. It took September is when I started the process going to doctors, and I just got the surgery on the 20th of January. So it's 14 days today since I had the surgery. So they say it can take 3 months to get your full strength back. And once I get the full strength back, 3, 4 months, and then they said it could take up to a year to completely heal. So yeah, I turned 50 in April, which is kind of cool. I don't know. I'm happy about getting older. I'm lucky to, a lot of people in history didn't live to be this old, so I'm always grateful when another year goes by and I get to experience more in this world because and yeah, there's a lot of horribly negative fucking dumpster fire shit going on right now. I know. I am not unaware. I'm actually kind of a news junkie, but I've kind of learned to compartmentalize it a little bit. Not totally, but I try not to let it affect my day-to-day operations, and I try to also there's a line, and I've said this before in my videos. I'll say it one more time just because the spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show Angel, I think it was in the first season that they were Angel and one of his buddies in the show. There's this Angel and this girl that's in the show. They were sitting after the show, and they were lamenting about the evils of the world and how everything they did, nothing mattered. It felt like it was futile, all their attempts at trying to fight evil and all the things they did. And this girl told Angel, she said, nothing we do matters. And Angel said, if nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do. And so that's kind of what I've been embracing. And also, just the most punk rock rebellious thing you can do nowadays is to be kind and happy. I mean, it's really hard to be happy, but what's your alternative? To be miserable and depressed? And I know sometimes it's out of your control. It's out of my control. I have waves of depression that hit me too. But then I try to just find the silliness of life, and you know, there's so much. There's fun out there if you look for it, and there's good people out there too. There's a lot of good people. And something that helps me that I've been trying to focus on is, and I'm not doing this every day, but I'm working my way up to it. I'm trying to get a little more. I don't want to fight, Cat. I can't. She will eventually. She'll let you pet, but then after a while, she wants to fight. Like, you can pet her, but then she wants to fight you. She's such a weird cat. But if you want to make your life better, do something for somebody that can't repay you and expect nothing back. Do something for somebody that has less than you every day. Go out and help somebody. Be gentle, be kind, just be aware that you've already died. You just haven't arrived yet. I tell myself that like twice a day. Like, this is an illusion in a way. This life is finite. We're constructs in this physical reality that is basically not real. It seems real, but I really do subscribe to the multiverse, holographic, whatever you want to call it, that, even maybe to a certain point, free will might not be totally. I think you got to fight for free will. I don't think it comes easy. I think we're all kind of subject to a lot of things in our mind and our day-to-day processes that we don't realize. And so if you want more cognitive control over your reality and your mind, you have to fight for it, because it's real easy just to give up and get in a pattern of things. And how many days have you done the exact same thing you did the day before, and they just become a blur, So that's why you got to mix it up with some novelty. You got to go out of your way to go places and talk to people you haven't seen. Move every once in a while. I lived in Kansas for 7 years, and I'm so glad to be out of there. And it's so nice to be in a town with bookstores and comic book stores and things like that, because the town I lived in had none of that. It had a Dollar General, a Walmart, and a bunch of rednecks. And I'm glad to be out of there. I don't know. I didn't talk a lot about it because the last year's been just a blur. But the thing that made me leave Kansas was I went for a job interview at a grocery store, and they literally told me I had to put a bag over my head to work there. And I was like, that's it. I'm fucking out of here. I mean, they said I'd have to cover up my tattoos with a bag. I was like, no, this is fucking ridiculous. So Kansas got stuck in like 1980 and never, not all of Kansas. Like I said, Lawrence is pretty cool. But I'm just glad to have escaped Kansas. I did not want to die in Kansas. And 7 years there was like a fucking sentence more than a life. And I got weirder. The longer I stayed there, the weirder I got. I just did not let the oppression like beat me down. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna return to tattooing. Like I said, tattooing, it's changed a lot. There's a lot of toxicity that has invaded the industry, and I generalize. There's good tattoo artists out there. Just like anything, everything. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Like I don't want to work for somebody. I always wanted to open my own tattoo shop, and now the amount of money I'd have to pour into getting a tattoo shop going it's just not worth it to me. And I don't want to be on social media all the time. That's the other thing. To run a tattoo shop successfully, you got to be on TikTok, you got to be on Instagram, you got to be on Facebook. I'm not any of that. The only thing I ever do now is YouTube once in a while. I still watch YouTube videos, but I don't participate with the social media as much because I don't care. And I really think in 6 months to a year, you're not gonna be able to tell what's real or not on any of that stuff. So I don't know. It was fun while it lasted, kind of thing. Um, and is it really? I don't know. There's a lot of negative things we're finding that is going on with this social media stuff. Like a lot of people aren't connected. So, but that's okay. Everybody does what they can, the most that they can, you know. So, managing moderators can support your channel. Introduce. No, I'm not gonna do it. uh, Man, people are just funny. Okay, we got bad jokes. Weird. I guess. I guess. I don't know how to control this. I haven't done too many live videos, so let's see here. I got one person watching me, so are you sure you want to start? No, 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 cancel. Well, maybe I'll just call it quits for now and do a real video down the road. Thanks to anybody that did watch this. Who cares? I don't know. I did it more just for fun because I haven't put a video up in so long. I haven't put up a video probably in, I don't know, 6 months. And I don't do too many live videos, but it's kind of fun. I don't know. So, anyways, have a great day. Pirate Wizard Dragon. Love y'all. Peace, love, blessing, and all the good stuff. Bye.